What's going on, y'all? This is Lucky J with the Lucky Ace podcast. This is episode 10, 11, I believe.
It's on the title of the video. They know.
We've just been doing so many.
Yeah.
Well, today we have a special guest, not Back to the Future, but here in the present. We've got Michael Fox from Good Dog Disc Golf. How's it going, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So we've been missing you a couple times, so I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
But it has given us more time to use your product that you sent to us, so we do appreciate it. Thank you for that. Are you familiar with Raven Newsom from MVP?
Not really.
So we had Raven, one of our players at tours, stay with us for it was about a month. Right?
It was a minute, yeah.
Yeah, he had all types of things happen, so he stayed with us for about a month, and this guy putts more than anybody that I've seen on tour.
He's a deadly putter, man. He puts work in those baskets.
Yeah, so your product actually came in around the time that Raven showed up. So I first off want to start by thanking you.
You're welcome.
My neighbors thank you.
Yeah.
My kid thanks you. Because he had one of those Discmania baskets and it was really loud.
Oh, yeah.
Really loud. And luckily we had that product that AJ will probably put up here to help.
Yeah. The Mod Silencer 2, which, I mean, that kind of leads to the question right off the bat. Can you please explain the history of your silencers?
Yeah, who did you piss off and made you come up with this so that you wouldn't piss him off anymore?
That's funny. You know, I'm not going to claim that I invented it. I'm going to claim that I designed my version. I mean, you all seen towels, you all seen all kinds of stuff out there people use. And since I was already working with that material, that neoprene, I thought, well, maybe I can make one of these and see how they do on the market. And man, they were popular immediately. So they're easy to take on and off. But yeah, the Mod 2 was the second generation from all the changes we made from our team Groundbound gave some input, a lot of the people from there, because we gave each one of them one. We got a lot of input from them about, the ring on the bottom, it wouldn't fit through, stuff like that. So we came out with the second generation, which added a few extra little things on it, including that little thinner piece on the bottom that fits in the ring. We call that the ring guard. And then made it a little bit more versatile. If you notice, the outer Velcro piece is much wider, so it has a chance to fit with smaller and wider poles. That was another feature. And then there's a little stitch about 7-8 inches down from the top on each side that you can actually cut it above that stitch and use it on an even smaller basket.
Oh,
so those were the three improvements we made after we got all that information from the first year that we put it on the market and said, we need to put a second one out right now. And there may even be a third one coming out soon. Ooh. So we're thinking about, we're actually really considering customizing them
that would be
in-house.
Really cool.
So that will be the generation 3. Yeah.
And so
that's pretty much the story on that.
Yeah, so attention to detail, I see. Yeah, you got everything, because you're right. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, I'll just, wrap a towel. It does the same thing, right? I got a friend that has this old basket, and he's been doing it with that towel forever. But no, you've thought it through. You made sure that you got a quality product, and I got to say, it's really easy to just slip on and off. And, the towel argument is just like, you leave that towel out there in the rain, it is gross.
Yeah, it's pretty grody.
Yeah.
What's your response to that? Because I feel like that's a common thing, is anytime a new product like this comes around, there are people that have to go with the, I just use a towel, a pool noodle.
Sounds like you've been reading the comments underneath my ad, because that's all it is underneath there.
Never read the ads.
Silence the chains. Yeah, I got tired of reading them and just backed off it. But we get everything from, why would you want to spend that much money on a pipe insulation? Why won't you just use a pool noodle, from all kinds of other things like towels, and why would you want to silence it? It's some of the comments.
What a dumb response. Why do you want to silence it? Well, it's loud and it's in my backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you don't have to, but there's a lot of people you might have to do it. So
yeah. No, it's ridiculous, because they really have to try it, and it's one of those products too where you just have to have somebody try it out before they can understand. And the simplicity of just throwing it on the basket, it's even uniform. It looks really nice too.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not anything that's tacky like a towel.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if it does rain or something like that, it's very easy to slip off right away. Usually the towels are,
Right.
I mean, they're stuck in that basket.
Yeah, they usually like knot it on. So like for me, the reason I like your product, I like the Mod Silencer too, is as a person who likes I'm not going to call it the finer things, but I want my things to look nice.
Yep.
And so the way you can slip it on and off, the way that you can like lend it out, if like there's a putting league here, like I can just take it from my house over and bring it here. It looks nice. And I like I don't know if this was something intentionally played around with, but I like how crispy it makes the chain sound when it hits, like when the disc really hits it.
Interesting.
So what's your take? Like, what's your go-to response whenever like, oh, I just use a pool noodle? Like, what's your usual go-to when they say that?
I don't respond.
Yes,
that's actually
awesome.
I don't respond.
What a great way to handle that.
Okay, I'm glad
you win.
I just let it right over my. It's not. In the beginning I'd get upset when people are doing that, and then it was just one of those things. I'm not gonna.
It's not the product.
Like I said, everyone. No, it's not. And there's a lot of what I call hacks. A lot of homemade stuff, and I commend that. If you don't want to spend the money on a product and you can make your own, I've been doing that my whole life, but now I'm in a business where I'm trying to make products for the disc golf community, and I have to do my best at it. So I can't just leave it. I just can't leave it at being a piece of material. It's got to be much more than that. So
yeah.
No, anyway,
definitely. No, we enjoy it, and like I said, we thank you. It was a game changer. As much as that guy putts and as loud as those chains were, like it was great. Like I remember being inside and hearing it, and then when he put it on, I was like, did he just stop putting? And I walked out there and I was like, man, you hear the chains, but it's not anything that's like
I
ringing.
like how crisp it just sounds like it's going to be in the video that I'm going to include here. Again, a big reason I like it is I'm not what you would call crafty. I'm not good. Anytime there's like DIY, I don't want to do that. I don't want to buy a pool noodle. I don't want to cut it up to make it fit, wedge it in. I don't want to like shove. I know some people put like insulation inside the pole itself. I don't want to modify mine because I have the MVP, like the one you can like tear down. I don't want to do that. So this is, in my opinion, like the perfect solution that looks good, it sounds good, it's effective, and you could it's Velcro. Just take it on and off. It's so easy to slide different parts of the pole. Like it's great. So that's why I would choose your product over a freaking pool noodle any day.
Well, I like the way you think.
There you go.
He's like, we need more people like you, AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You mentioned the material, though. Can you tell me a little bit about what led to the decision to use this material? Because it almost feels like a mouse pad like.
It's exactly what the material is. We use a high quality neoprene, kind of like very similar to wetsuit neoprene. With the sublimation surface, which allows us to put whatever we want on them. So that's why we're thinking of customizing them to whatever people want. I don't know if you saw the 4 new colors that just came out or not. It just came out over the weekend.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah,
what
so we have a green one now, a pink one, and there's also what we call Texas Stars, because I got to be careful how I name it, and also a burnt orange one out there too. So they're looking pretty good. And
where are you located?
I'm located in Cedar Creek, which is next to Bastrop.
Okay.
In Texas.
So I'm getting.
You guys are Texas, yeah.
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah. I'm from San Antonio.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, we're right over here.
Houston.
When I hear burnt orange, I'm like, okay, this is my guy.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not UT. It's just burnt orange.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Can't copyright a color.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: you guys can cut that out if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
they're pretty strict on their
great
proprietary stuff. So yeah,
very, very true.
Yeah. So I guess it was the question about the material still, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Right?
What led to the decision for you to land on that?
So we'd already been working with that material with the Groundbounds. We had been doing that for a couple years before we decided to make the chain silencers. And if we back up even further, my daughter was trying to teach me and my wife how to play Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah.
Right about the time I was trying to come up with a device that I could sell to earn funds to promote our disc retriever, which is patented, and we haven't even showed that yet. It's one of those things that's still in development, and it's patented, and we're trying to decide what we're going to do with that. Either we're going to sell it or team up with another company and try to get that developed. But for now, we were trying to come up with some sort of product we could earn money to get that developed, and it ended up doing so well, the Groundbound, that we just kept going with it. But we were playing cards, and my elbows kept getting all raw from sitting on the table playing cards. So I pulled one of the replaying mats over and just put my elbows on it. And it was right about the same time I was trying to develop the Groundbound. I went, this is it right here. This material is what we need to use right here. So I had to special order thicker material because they don't make mouse pads in 10 millimeter and have everything else, all the materials shipped in and start making them. And then from there, we decided to use the same material for the chain silencers, and it just happened to work out. I had extra material laying around. I wrapped it around and it silenced it, like you said, and went, oh my God.
Is it the same material let's start developing for your ground bounds?
Exactly.
It is. Yep. Okay. All right, sweet.
It is.
I'm familiar with those. Like I use those a lot here in Texas. I can tell you that.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got I don't know if we're saturated, but we got a lot of them in the Texas area because we're so local. We do a lot of tournaments and hand them out, and so there's a lot of them out there around here.
I've gotten several in like players packs and stuff like that. So
yeah, we do a lot. We do a lot of community service out here, so in Texas. So we're involved in it. If you know Adam Hernandez up here in the Cedar Creek area, Austin. Yeah, Adam
That's
and me.
My guy,
I'm involved in his. I'm involved in his toy drive now every year, and his backpack drive. It's going to be my main. Last year we did really good. It was going to be my main charity events every year, along with Jay Yeti's Edge program. So that's a little more background for you if you need. Yeah, all great people. Adam's my team captain for Team Groundbound, for the for the Masters and the juniors. So he's doing a great job. Love the guy.
I always get after him because I'm like, man, I've seen your barbecue like countless times. I've never had it, and I'm jealous.
Well, we'll have to give you a heads up next time we do something.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I'm like down in the San Antonio area as well. Like I travel back and forth. So when I'm up there,
very familiar. I was there for 12 years.
12 years?
I lived by SeaWorld for 12 years.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever hit up the Zip?
Yeah.
Well, the Zip was fairly new. Oh, you've been there?
Yeah. The one behind Cedar Park, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No,
with the
Helotes?
double zip lines and.
It's in Helotes.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Is that a new one?
Yeah, it's, I would say 4 years, maybe 3.
Well, I doubt I've done it then. Are you talking about the zip line, right?
Yeah, the zip line course. We have a shop there. But I mean, it's so from your area, it'd probably be like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I've done that one. I haven't even done the one across the street from me over here by the Hyatt. So.
Well, that brings up a great question. So what is your history with disc golf? How long have you been playing? What do you like to throw? Things like that.
What's your PDGA number?
Well, my PD number is 61436. So it's not way back, but it's far enough. I've been playing since 1996. My brother-in-law introduced it to me in San Antonio. Live Oak is where I learned to play.
Nice. So, there it is.
Yeah. And I kind of just dabbled with it off and on. And then until I joined a 512 flight club here in Austin about 6-7 years ago, started getting a little more serious. And then, as you get older, things start to break. So I really never had a chance at being a contender or anything. I just love the game. So, and then in 2016, we decided to come up with this company and start developing that stuff like I was telling you. And that's the short version, of the whole story there. But and I had to throw a mixed bag. So I putt with Black Zombie. I drive with Innova. I have my short games probably with dynamic discs. I mean, it's all in my bag, and I'm constantly changing it. So just recently, I learned that I have to get lighter discs because I can't flip them up anymore.
Nice.
Little noodle arm coming at my age.
That's awesome. I didn't even. So your first round of disc golf was at Live Oak. Was it Hillside or Lakeside? Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah, I didn't even know there was 2 sides back then. There was just one course back then.
Yeah,
I've never played the new 2.
Yeah, so there's 2. They have 2 courses now. There's Hillside and Lakeside. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, there was only one back then.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Hillside. That is the more popular one. Did you play
by
next to the
lot?
lake?
I played. It kind of went next to that ravine, and then it kind of went over by the lake and then came back a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I'm sure it was a mixture at the time. But no, that one, man, I've been playing out there for a long time. That's such a great.
I'm gonna have to get out there.
Yeah,
I haven't played it in a long time, so
you're
I'll
gonna
get
have
out
to
there.
sign up for LOSO then, because we're running that again this year.
All right, I'll look for it.
Yeah. All right.
So
perfect.
Just send me a message, email me, and maybe I can get some Groundbounds for y'all out there or something.
You know what? Let's do that. Yeah, I think it'd be something because it's going to be an A tier status, so I want to really build like an awesome players pack, and that would be perfect for our players. We'll have some pretty cool artwork and stuff like that. Real quick, I know AJ has more questions, but I just want to take this time to like ask him since he's here. So I know you mentioned about the custom. Now you're going to put custom
the silencers.
Yeah. Now, are we able as like dealers? Are we able to send artwork and have something on there, or is it just like different colors?
No, anything you want. Same with the Groundbound.
Anything.
I tell it's funny because you say that and people just don't understand what that means. It means anything.
Okay, yeah.
You know, if you want to take a picture of your grandma and stick it on there, the picture will go right on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
somebody
one of those
that
things.
you don't like, you
within
put it on
reason.
There so you make sure you
it's like a dartboard, you know, thing when you
right. Yeah. Whatever president you believe in, you put his face there.
There you go. Perfect. That's awesome. No, that's good to know because I think that's important for you and your business because with disc golf, for me, like I feel like the majority of the discs that I sell, at least consistently, are custom stamp. And to offer that to the dealers, you're going to get a lot more sales because, I mean, people like me who have an artist just like on deck, we can come up with some cool stuff. And that would be awesome to see people purchasing like Lucky Ace, little silencers
and stuff and Groundbounds. That's great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't realize I was familiar with the Groundbound. I have a buddy who's been playing for a while, like 10 plus years, and he had one dangling. In hindsight, it was a Groundbound hanging off his bag. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
And he explained it to me. He's like, oh, you know how when you're kneeling and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that would have saved my knees so much trouble just getting stabbed with sticks and sharp rocks.
I used to use a disc and I'd flip over my disc, right? And use my disc and it would work. But this one time I did it and I kind of slid and I got a like a little thorn went through my disc.
Oh God.
It didn't hit me.
Oh, damn.
It didn't get me, but it went through my disc and ruined it was a rock. Like, and I was like, why? First off, why am I kneeling on my favorite disc? And it was
I'd be scared I'd dome it up and stuff. Like I don't want to.
I actually got my first Groundbound. I believe it was at, and I won this tournament too.
Subtle.
It was at the Lone Star Classic right before they shut down for COVID in February.
Wow.
I won MA3.
That was one of Adams, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Adams? One of Adams' things? Lone Star Classic?
No, that was oh my gosh, I can't believe
it was up before Adams started. No, it's been a while, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know this guy very well. Ken Shepard, sorry.
Ken?
Yeah.
Ken Shepard. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
okay.
Ken.
He was helping Ken that year, I think. Yeah. Was that the year it was raining like crazy?
Yeah, it was raining.
It was raining like crazy. I remember sitting in there waiting for it to start, just getting soaking wet.
Yeah. No, it was a great event. But that was the first time in my players pack, and I thought that was one of the best players pack that I've ever got.
Really? That's awesome.
So I got like a bag, end of a bag, but I got a Groundbound. And it has the logo of the event and everything. It was pretty dope. Yeah.
That is super dope.
Yeah, we do a lot of tournament Groundbounds and we do a lot of club Groundbounds too. Well, the club tags, because we can customize them. So we put 1, 2, 3.
That's perfect.
And they buy them, 50, 60 at a time. It's pretty neat to see people actually wanting to, put those on their bags for their club. So
that is really dope. So you sell the Groundbounds, you sell the chain silencers, but your company, or at least the name of the website and stuff, is Good Dog Disc Golf. Can you please elaborate on the name, please? Because I love it.
Yeah, it confuses a lot of people. There's no dog products at all. But no, see, it's funny. I have a border collie, and she's about 12 years old. And when she was young, I had to play with her 4 times a day because she's just that type of dog. And she became a pretty good Frisbee dog. And that's where it all started. The dog helped me learn how to throw left-handed when my arm was bad. So she helped with that. She helped actually develop the disc retriever that I patented by doing some weird thing with her paws and sliding it up on her paw. there's a lot of things that have to do with my dog. When we first started developing this company, that it just rang.
Good
It just
dog.
rang for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Good
dog. It
dog.
was just, yeah. So that's the majority of the answer there. There's a lot of little things too, but
I love that.
basically she helped with a lot of development. Yeah. She's our R&D dog. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the best. So
Yeah, yeah.
you have what you sent us was the Mod 2. Can you kind of quickly explain like what changed between the Mod 1 and the Mod 2?
Well, the Mod 1 was just it was just the material with a color. We had what, 2 colors at that time, I think, and then the Velcro, and that was it. It didn't have the bottom little piece that fits in the ring. That was one of the issues we had, was it wouldn't fit in some of the baskets that had really tight rings, like only, a couple millimeters gap between the ring and the pole. So we decided to add a thinner piece on the bottom so it would actually keep that ring from banging against the pole as well, which added maybe 1 decibel more of silence to it.
Hey,
But
every little bit helps.
every little bit helps. Yeah, yeah. Plus, it was a complaint. People were like, "This won't fit through my ring." It's like, okay, we got to do something about this. And then, of course, the other 2 issues were that we made it more versatile for different size poles, and then those stitches on the top, about 8 inches down, where you can cut it. That was but the first one was just the neoprene with the design and Velcro on each end to wrap it around. Then we had to develop a little bit further than that once we decided that there was some improvements we needed to make.
Gotcha. Well, that kind of leads to my one of my last questions here is, what were some unforeseen challenges that came during the production of, whether it be, the Mod 1, Mod 2, or the Groundbounds, really?
Well, the biggest unforeseen challenge was probably the getting the band, it's called binding around the outside of the Groundbound was one of the biggest challenges in the beginning.
Okay.
Sewing that out, I had to make all kinds of different new jigs, and then heat pressing on this material. It's not like heat pressing on a shirt where you've got like less than a millimeter of material. So when you're squishing down on this material, it reacts much differently. It starts to swell, starts to expand. So I had to play with that it literally took me almost a year to figure out how to get these prints without them,
That's
double
tedious.
printing. And it was very, very long time before I figured out exactly how it needed to be done. But we managed to punch through a lot of things, like I was spraying too much adhesive on it, which made it double print, little things. We just couldn't get it right the first year. And then bam, it happened overnight one day. And we're like, oh, this is the pressure. This is the amount of spray. This is how long. This is the temperature. Boom, it all worked out. And now I have like a 99.9 success rate on my runs, and I don't waste so much. But yeah, it's a lot better now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into this.
I love that.
Yeah. And supply too. The supply chain after COVID kind of interrupted a lot of it. I was freaking out because I couldn't find places to get that binding. They were all out. I could source my material pretty well, but when it came to the accessories, like the grommets and the binding around the outside and stuff like that, I just couldn't find a supplier. So I just barely squeaked by finding secondary suppliers to get what I needed. And now I'm back and things are better, and it's easier to get the supplies. So that was another thing, that the material supplies were really kind of hard in the beginning, the first couple years, to get a good supplier that would be able to supply me with what I needed. And even then, now that we're growing, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to look into ordering even more, and that might cause a problem. So
it's kind of a good problem, I guess.
Yeah, it
is a good problem. Yeah, it's a great problem.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it was for us too, because I started the business as well during COVID, and at the time I got in with all the manufacturers early, which was great because now it's not so easy, just having the website. But yeah, I mean it was impossible to get some of the manufacturers to stock because they weren't producing anything. There was a lot of states that were shut down. Texas, we were fortunate enough to have to be only shut down for 2 weeks and then be reopening. But yeah, I remember traveling to Michigan for an event that we were doing up there, and it was months after Texas opened up, and we were out eating, and my friends were like, "Yeah, this is different. They actually just opened up like last week. Like we've still been on shutdown." So it was a crazy it was a crazy time. But yeah, I remember going through the same thing. So that's you know, it's something we all had to deal with, I guess, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, what did they say? It was the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened to disc golf, right? It was
I
like
mean,
everybody wanted to play disc golf, but all the companies were hurting.
it's shut
It
down.
was
Yeah.
one of those weird, yeah, everything was shut down, but everybody wanted to play disc golf because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So
for
picked up a
sure.
lot of players that year.
Yeah, a lot of players. So there's a lot more baskets in backyards, and there's a lot more chains banging. So your product
That's right.
has really helped us all out, and not turn people away, because I know when the neighbors are hearing that, they're like, "What the hell is that?" So every time they see it, they'll probably be like, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm not doing that." So you've done your part as well. So
well, for the record, I do like the sound of the chains too. Just for everybody out there.
I do, but sometimes
like I'm trying to silence it.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Exactly. But sometimes when they're putting like late at night, like at 10 at night, I think it's time to, like, you know, turn the volume down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So that's
We had a guy come to us at one of the tournaments when we were vending, and he said that he got a ticket from a cop in his apartment. And he wasn't going to buy a chainsaw. He was totally against it. And he said, "But I need one now."
Oh wow!
Noise complaint.
Yeah, because the cop noise complaint. Yeah,
some of those baskets are loud.
That's loud. I mean, even here in the shop, we have the basket here set up, and you know, people putt around and stuff here in the shop, and you know, we're 10 feet away from the basket. It can start to wear in your ears a bit hearing that ringing. So it really helps just to have it on the basket in here in this smaller room. That's really helps with the acoustics and I'd love to know exactly how much more quiet the chains are. I might have to play with that when I shoot the video.
We have a company out there that did. I'm trying to remember the name of it. We did a review and it came out 24 decibels lighter.
Wow,
Then so it was like 82, and it dropped it down to like, I don't know, low 60s, high 50s. So it was really impressive. I hadn't done that yet.
As an audio engineer and all that stuff, 20 decibels.
The only
is no
decibels I ever
freaking
see
joke.
is like when the NBA game has like the throttle, like, get louder.
That's so good. But I mean, now's your time, man. Is there you can direct our listeners and stuff. Where can people find your products?
Yeah,
where are you on social media?
Gooddogdiscgolf.com. It's got a whole slew of Groundbounds in there. All our chain silencers. We're on Facebook. We don't have a Twitter account, but you can get anything you need there. We don't have apparel yet. We'd like to get some apparel soon, but we're not really too concerned with that at this moment, because we're more of a manufacturer than we are a retail business. So, but yeah, we got a couple other products coming out too. Be on the lookout. We're making our own version of the koozie, which is called an ad wrap.
Nice.
So you'll be able to put that on the bottom of your baskets. They're easier to take off and on than a lot of the koozies out there right now. And we are coming out with this year what's called the soft top, which is a seat cushion for the Zuka carts. And they slip right on the cart, the top, like a sock almost. The underside, there's a spot for your phone, pencil, scorecard, whatever you want. Top, completely customizable.
Wow.
Whatever you want to put on it. Yeah. So you can, again, like you said earlier, customization is what a lot of people like right now.
Yeah.
They want their own stuff on their products,
They're
know.
Expressing themselves.
Expressing themselves. Yeah. So our prototype for that one's been out for 3 years, and the guy who has it has Houston Astros stuff all over it. So
Nice.
Shout out to John Brantley. Thank you, John Brantley, for your generous wearing of that. So yeah, we got some really neat stuff coming out. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, gooddogdiscgolf.com. Make sure that everybody goes and at least check them out. Give them a follow on Facebook as well. Well, man, Michael, I really appreciate you coming on to the show. I know like I said, we missed each other a couple times, but this turned out to be a good conversation, and we really enjoyed having you.
Well, I'm glad you called me. I'm very happy to have joined y'all. So I'm going to put a discount code out there. I'll put a Ace Ground.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants 10% off,
Ace Ground.
Good Dog Disc Ace Ground, and the 10% off.
Perfect.
Nice. So, we really appreciate
that. I don't know how you fit that in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, I can. What I do is I'll go like that, and then AJ will just put it right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So boom, right there.
Ace Ground.
I'll set that up. Yep. No problem.
Gotcha. We really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Our viewers appreciate it. So we'll get you. We'll throw some of them your way. Make sure they help
Sounds
support.
good. Sounds good.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Well, you have yourself a great night, and thanks again for coming on the Lucky
You
Ace
too.
podcast.
All right. Thank you guys, and we'll see you soon, hopefully.
All right.
Yeah.
Take it easy.